Hey, and welcome back to the King of Heroics channel. Today, we're going to be doing a new little mini-series where we're going to jump into each of the characters' history and basically everything I could find out about Poppy Playtime. Let's jump into it. Now, we all know Poppy. She's the game's titular character we found by opening a case at the end of Chapter 1 who was apparently locked in there by the game's big bad. But, in case you've been living under a rock, here's her little intro.
You are about to see the most incredible doll ever invented. Her name is Poppy, and she is the first truly intelligent doll in the world. A little girl can talk to her. Poppy gives her answers. She is the first doll actually able to have a conversation with a child. Hard to believe? Just watch.
Poppy Playtime!
Poppy's as lovable as a real girl, and she talks like one, too.
Hi, my name is Poppy. I love you. Can you help me polish my shoes?
Why, of course, Poppy. Just like a real girl, Poppy always wants to look her best.
Perfect! Thank you.
Her hair is sturdy and won't come out when you brush it, and smells just like a poppy flower. Is there anything else you'd like to say, Poppy?
I'm a real girl, just like you.
What's the time?
Playtime!
Wasn't that fun? So we know, Poppy the toy was created by Elliot Ludwig in the 1950s. So Ludwig is that dude from the start of that ad. Pull his face back up now. Yeah, that one. Look at him. Weirdo. But from everything I could find out, and this was through going through pages and pages of lore and reading all the different notes I could find in game, going and finding any notes I didn't have. From what I could find out, the Poppy that we know was probably made in the 1960s, after the death of one of Elliot Ludwig's family members. Presumably, his adopted daughter. Still, we don't know for sure, but that seems pretty legit. Seems legit to me. Now, this is where things get dark. Pretty dark. About poor Miss Poppy Playtime. But, before we go into how dark it truly is, I'm going to show you what solidified this to me as evidence. Now, this is a video from Mob Entertainment. It's the Poppy Playtime maintenance video. Do not continue viewing the tape. Do not. We're gonna. How to maintain your Poppy Playtime. Polish those shoes. Wait for it. Wait for it. And yeah, that looked like blood all over Miss Poppy's voice box. Why? Well, Elliot Ludwig used a concoction of poppy flowers, mixed it into a gel, and used that and the brain and other vital organs of, we assume, the deceased adopted daughter. Could be deceased any family member, but used their brain and organs and this mixture of poppy flower gel to mix them with a toy and reanimate them. Yeah. Some weird little Franken girl. That's what all the toys would be. Weird little Franken critters. So, how do we know about the poppy gel? Well, bring up the note! This note here, experiment 814. Note, this experiment utilized a live rat. Rat was fed 3 portions daily for 2 weeks. At the end of the 2 weeks, rat was killed and submerged into a poppy, flower, and preservative gel mixture. 1 week later, an electric shock was applied to the rat, still in the gel, in an attempt to revive it. The rat remained unresponsive. Analysis? I still believe in this potential of the poppy flower. its unusual properties lead me to believe that the proper mixture and procedure could have life-altering properties. The poppy flower has for a long time carried heavy symbolism, and I don't believe that's for no reason. Perhaps something larger than a rat will yield different results. Though, the death of his close family member did cause the final push into Elliot Ludwig's evil, weird poppy flower experimentation. There's 3 things that, well, they really show something else. 1, that line in the note. I still believe that hints that this has been a plan for a very long time, at least longer than the 50s when he named her Poppy. Most likely because he'd already been researching or at least studying into the poppy flower. 2, the fact he named the doll 10 years before the death of the family member that apparently is living inside of the doll. That's sus. It's also it's not proven, it's most probable. It's also most logical, so it's most likely his adopted daughter, or at least a childlike figure going off how Chapter 3 turned out. 3, and this is something that's not covered in the rest of the video, so I apologize if you don't know it, but it's a fact. In the 1930s, Elliot Ludwig was divorced. Why? Because he was an obsessive workaholic. So, not proven, but there's a very high chance that his obsessive tendencies started long before the creation of any of these toys, and his study into the poppy flower seems to lead towards a much larger and much darker thought, which is he was obsessed with achieving immortality. Yes, later on that turned into immortality for others, but the starting goal would have been immortality for himself. Not going to jump any further into that. That's going to be covered in a later episode, but I think you know what I'm hinting at. Now, lastly, back to sweet Poppy. What was she up to in that time when she was created in the 60s and when the big bad prototype locked her in the case, supposedly in the 90s during the Hour of Joy? We don't know. I have no idea what she was up to. If she was dancing around it, no idea. All I know is that she clearly either had free roam or Ludwig gave her a lot of tours. She was involved in a lot of his proud creations, possibly, because she knows the layout of that place. We know that much. She's helping us escape. She knows the layout. She knows the ins and the outs. It's weird to me. Still not questioning. I trust her, but also I'm not even 100% sure the devs know where she's going. They might now, but they didn't. So I think we all have some reasons to have some distrust for dear Poppy. Secondly, we know during this time she had a large connection with Kissy. Her being locked in the case may have been the reason the prototype was able to convince her that it was okay to kill the others. She could have even used Poppy as a ploy. Well, the prototype could have even used Poppy as a ploy to why Kissy killed. During the Hour of Joy, Kissy was still working for the prototype. We know that much. We're going to get into that further in a later episode because we got a whole bunch to jump down that rabbit hole. But with how close she was in Chapter 3, we know that Kissy clearly loves Poppy and listens to Poppy. So there was a connection between them at some point. Most likely between the 60s and 90s, so we got a 30-year gap. Unfortunately though, that's basically everything I can find about poor Poppy without diving into the other rabbit holes I have planned for other episodes. I really hope you enjoyed this. Tell me if I missed anything in the comments below, really tell me. I want to know these things. And also tell me, what are your theories about any Poppy Playtime lore you have, about what could be coming up in Chapter 4. Really love to hear it. And if you like this video, please hit that like button. If you enjoyed this and you want to get notified about next video, hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll catch you next time.